everybody, and welcome back to our little farming adventure. Now we have two buildings back behind us that need decorating. I decided to just take one more video on decorating. I know I've done quite a few of them in this series because, first of all, we didn't get to do much with Meadow last episode. All we did was complete it. This vinery building has been left with no villagers in it, undecorated for a while. I do have a few decorations in the bottom of it, but we also need to do some vinery stuff in order to fill up those shelves and things to just make it look cool. So we're going to be doing that in this episode because, well, I need to do it and I haven't had time to do terraforming due to my work schedule IRL. Well, between work schedule, home schedule, socializing schedule, it's a whole thing. I've been very busy. It's the start of planting season for my mother. So there's been a lot of plants and things. And then just people tend to get very active around summertime, springtime, all of that. And same can be said for my life. So we are going to be working on this. Now we have this pretty area right here. We're just going to bring all of this decor feeling forward, at least encompassing the meadow building down there. Also, in this episode, we're going to be putting in another building. Another little farming hut down here. To bring this farming design, this fishing design further over this way. Because I want to bring it further down. I may end up putting another one down in this area after I finish digging that out. There's just not a lot of very thick water base that I can do those in, and this is just another area where I can. So I'm going to take that advantage and do another one right here. I may end up doing another drop-down building over here, just to have another building, and then we still got to come back up here and finish this off. We may actually, if I have time in this episode, do pathway through all of this. Maybe. At least get this pathway to match up here and this pathway through both of these. We'll see. But my main focus is down here. Because both these buildings need decorating. I need to put another building here. And then I need to bring the path forward further down here so we can get started on vinery, which is going to be down here. I think the main building for vinery itself is going to be here. There's probably going to be another building like this one here. And then the main building is going to be back here. Just like the main building for brewery is going to be back here on this corner after I finish taking out this land bridge and taking this down. Which is something I have to do in between episodes because down on that corner, hold on, I'll run over there so you guys can see. Okay, this is the area I'm talking about. How we have, this is technically a peninsula right now instead of an island. I want it to be an island. So I'm going to break this and then take this entire building down. Just completely take this out, put dirt down, just so this can actually be an island, because right now there's just a few blocks of mud connecting the two. Okay, this one has now been decommissioned, and this area has been at least starting the terraforming, so now we're officially an island. Instead of just random peninsula. I'm going to go back and deepen this after I get this building out, because I think I still want to terraform this back a bit more. Just to make it look a bit better. Okay, and this is kind of the area we're working with today. I still need to grab some dirt and fill that area in. Because I think in that corner right there, we're going to do a barnyard, I think? Actually, no, I should leave this area clear until I figure out what I'm doing with vinery. So I need to bring the path forward. I need to do a step off this way and then a continuation along here. I need to pseudo fence this in, which is just some bushes and things along this edge. Just to kind of fence this in, not really. And then that's going to meet up with a path that's going to go through here, which I think I can go ahead and branch. I'm going to send one this direction and then one this way. And then maybe stick a tree off in this area here. Okay, and here we go. The fishmonger's building. Now this is going to have fences and stuff around it. I want to see this as an area where they can come and like buy stuff up. So I'm going to have like 2 barrels of fish here and some fencing around this, or maybe even some other barrels just around this, to where they can come out here and they can just sell some items, maybe do a coarse dirt path and some leaves and such over here, just so we can have an area for them to go and buy stuff directly that's come straight off the boat. This area over here is going to be more of maybe a market. Planning on putting in another building somewhere in here. But this one has a cool little spiral staircase. It's got this area down here where I could see this being like a kitchen living area. Back here, this is just a walkway, possibly with a table here with maybe a bookcase or something, like log keeping here. And then this would be like barrels and storage along these walls for the shop that's right here. And then of course we have our dock space back here. I actually did it to where this bit is open here, so like the boat just got undocked from right here. And then going up the stairs, there's actually, I don't have my doors on me anymore, but there's actually 2 bedrooms up here. To where I actually kind of want to put fishermen villagers inside this building. Okay. We are picking up this video a few days later. Now, this video was originally supposed to go up on Friday. Instead, this video is going up on Tuesday because I didn't get enough done in between episodes. I tried working on other things and I wasn't getting enough done. To recap, I got this building done in the last episode. Oh, also I got the villagers moved in there. We'll get to that in a second. But I got this building done in the last episode where it's just another dockside building. And I've got some of the new little fishmongers like store going right there. I did in fact start filling this area up. This is all a bunch of like cherry wine, I think. Yeah. Cherry wine and then red wine just shoved off in here. I do have some kegs in here as well. I don't have as many on this wall. I'm working on getting them all throughout here. Just making all of these is a giant pain in the butt, so I'm just slowly getting more in there. I'm getting cherries to put cherry wine, so we have different bottles back here. It isn't all just the same red wine bottles. But yeah, there's that. Then up here we have our 2 villagers up here. They have their own workstations now. They're not sharing one. They also have their own beds. I'll eventually come back up here and redo this so that they can have kind of their own space. That, and I also did the pathways going through here in the I don't know if I did this in the last episode, but I definitely did the coarse dirt in between the last clip and this one. Now, we are continuing that effect going further down. Because I did want to start some touches of vinery today. I think what I'm going to put here, because we do have a fishmonger's house right there, I kind of want to put like a little bit of an orchard right here. Because in order to do everything for vinery, we need cherries and we need apples. So, having some cherry trees and some apple trees specifically down here may help a bit. But I want to get the pathways going all the way back there, and I want to get the vineyard in place. I want to start the vineyard. And I need to get this orchard in place. Okay. And as much as I love having like trees and stuff, it is very dark back here. I need to throw in some form of lighting. So I'm going to throw some glow lichen in places. Just to try and make sure we don't get any mob spawns inside the orchard. I'm probably going to have to throw a bit more of that in. But that is just a start. I do have more like going in one of my botany pots. So I'll be able to come back and definitely put more of that in. Just for right now, I'm going to have to be careful. Also, these first 3 rows, I think 4 rows, are all in line with one another, I think. No, it's just these first three. These first three are on the same like thing, and then I started curving it slightly. So all of these are kind of offset, and I think that looks a bit better. And it definitely has more of a curve to it. I think I want to kind of I would definitely want to curve the path along here, and then do maybe a work zone here, and maybe like a little bit of a farmer's market where people can buy these cherries off the trees. And thing is after I take the cherries down, you'll notice that these green leaves exist, the darker green. That means the cherries can regrow there. So these things will continue to regrow as long as they're here. It might take them like a day or two, but as long as these dark green leaves exist, they'll continue to regrow. And this is before they get moved to the storage room that's going to be back over that direction. That's kind of being covered by the trees, which is kind of what I wanted. The apple trees were a little much. I think I like the look of the cherry trees a bit more. It just means I'll have to work in some apple trees somewhere, which we already have oak trees kind of all around here and swamp oak. So having a few apple trees, which are basically oak trees. Hold on. Proof to this. Makes oak planks. But just having a few of the apple trees around somewhere in the village would probably be more useful, because the apple trees function the same way as these. You have the ability to just pick the apples off of it and they'll eventually regrow. So that's if I need them. I feel like this place would be mainly making grape and cherry wines. That's just how I feel about it. Because apple is more meads. And when I think about mead, I typically think of Viking or that sort of thing. If you've played Skyrim, I'm thinking very like Nords, like Skyrim feel to it. That's when I think of mead, that's what pops into my head. And this area doesn't really give that vibe. Okay, and there we go. Just a little dip off over here. And this is kind of completing the original idea I had where I wanted this to all be like kind of a market. Instead, it's more like a fresh food market, like anything that comes off the trees that day or anything that comes out of the water, like during the night or that morning, would be sold out here, and people would flock to this area probably early in the morning to get some fresh foods for their things during the day. Like the bakery may end up coming after quite a few cherries, you know, to put in their pastries and things of that nature. The candlelight restaurant up there may come for some of the fish early in the mornings for their dishes and stuff, the fish stews and things of that nature. So small things like that just to help areas make a bit more sense. There we go. After some finish foliage touches, this pathway is a little bit more hidden because I don't want this to actually be like a direct pathway to the house or a normal pathway to the house. This is mainly so the person who lives here can grab the firewood and then bring it inside to light the smokers. Because in most... This bed is also not going to be here. But in most occasions like this, they would be smoking the fish. Like, they would have, of course, like the raw seafood you can buy and take home and bake, make a stew out of, however you want to do it. But a lot of them would also sell like smoked fish or things of that nature, because that, or salted, to make it last longer. But I think we're ready to bring that path down this way and finish texturing this front bit. Okay, and excuse the rain, it isn't quite night yet, so I can't sleep this away. But there we go, the exterior of Meadow. We have all of this going on now. And whenever I continue this pathway, whenever I go back towards Brewery, I'll probably do this in between episodes. But I'll probably add like a small stable out the back of this, probably build this platform up a tiny bit more, and put a small stable in the back of this. Just to probably put some of these donkeys that I keep having spawn all over the place, probably just have a spot to put them. But there we go. Now my next goal is to continue the pathway down. I want to get the pathway all the way down to here, which means I'm also going to be doing a switch off path going that way because this pathway is going to go this way and then it's going to connect to a pathway that's going to go back up this way. Okay, and there we go. Path coming all the way down here. Now I did take some breaks and stops to do this pathway down here as well and kind of get it set up for me to be doing the start to brewery. Now this isn't going to continue until I get to brewery. Right now our main focus is down here because this entire corner back here that I've already terraformed, this is going to be vinery. So the building is going to be sitting along this back end here. We're going to put in a vineyard down here today. Okay, this side's not completely done. You can see I still got a lot of area I've got to fill up, but I ran out of rooted dirt. I need to go trade for some more real quick. But this is kind of what we're going with for this area. I also put dirt back in between all of these because I actually want the grass to grow back because I like how it looks from the map view. I don't typically do things off the map view, but you can kind of see from this area, it actually looks pretty decent to have just, hold on, let me move this grayed out piece. But you can see where the green lines are contrasting with the other lines and with the coarse dirt line, which is right here. That's the coarse dirt. And this is the rooted dirt for each one of the actual grape areas. Now, I did keep with this one where it's red, white, going all the way down. And I'm probably going to do another smaller one, like off to the side, probably in front of the building somewhere. Maybe off over here. Okay. See if I can level you up again. Okay, and then honeycomb. But having honey means we can actually continue making a whole bunch of stuff. So in the next episode, we will be starting major work on Vinery. That means making all the different drinks while building up the actual big building for it. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!